Welcome to Why Blackboard National E-Conference 2020. I would like to congratulate all of you present here because you have invested your time correctly on this National E-Conference organized by Why Blackboard, associated by All Odisha BPUT Pharmacy Students Association. Why Blackboard was founded by Mr. Nalinikanta Swain and Mr. Victor Masih. It is a platform which connects students all around the globe through its online learning portal and industrial-based product cycle hub to the best instructors. Hi everybody, my name is Bijal Vanjara. I'm a bachelorette from Bharati Vidyapeeth's College of Pharmacy and the Cultural Secretary of IPA MSB SF. I would like to welcome the cherished dignitaries, honorable speakers, and all the participants present here, which includes students, academicians, researchers, industrialists from all around the country. I guarantee that this seminar will provide a good platform to exchange ideas, thus reaching an appropriate conclusion for defining the future growth of healthcare and role of pharmacists in the health value chain. We have gathered here virtually to avail the opportunity to learn from the admirable speakers who will apprise us about impact of COVID-19 on advancements of pharmaceutical sciences. I would like to extend a warm thank you to all Odisha BPUT Pharmacy Students Association and Tarini Tripathi Corporation for their support. Dear participants, if you have any questions during the presentation, just write them in the chat box. We will solve each and everybody's doubt during the Q&A session. Moving ahead, our first speaker of the webinar is Dr. Hemant Kumar. What's special about him is that he's an action taker. He is a living proof that the distance between you and everything that you want is the amount of action you take, which is evident from his recently published research article. He is a principal senior scientist, head of the Department of R&D at Atkins Drug and Pharmaceuticals Limited. He has secured his MSc and PhD in biochemistry. And he also holds a PhD in chemistry. Not only he is a research scholar with expertise in cancer and genomics, he is also well known for his business development and management skills. Hello, sir. We are thrilled to have you here today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Blackboard and the entire team, and all the best for your seminar and the webinar now.
Sir, I hereby hand over the session to you. Hemant sir?
I'll be very happy to share my views on the COVID-19 research and also the technical advancements happened during the pandemic session. So I'd like to continue my session now with all the people on board now. So I hope I'll be sharing my presentation. Hope everything is visible to every one of you. So this is a beautiful session for each and every one of us to share our knowledge and experiences on the COVID-19, impact of COVID-19 on the pharmaceutical sciences. The main topic I choose here is impact of COVID-19 on advancements in pharmaceutical sciences. So this is a very interesting topic which I found to share my experience, which because I'm practically working on this virus from past 12 years. So my experience on this virus, from my experience about this virus and also the research which we conducted and which we learned the technical advancement, I would like to share with all of you here. So as you all know, I'd like to give the very small introduction here. That is pandemics are not new for us. From generations to generations and centuries, the human generations are facing the pandemics from long time. So particularly the COVID-19 caused by the SARS-CoV-2, which was originated in the Wuhan city of China during 2019 December. So it has created a lot of problems globally, where total 13.3 million case confirmed registered cases and also 7.37 million record cases and more than 578,000 deaths worldwide been registered as per the WHO records. So this is a big challenge of this century, which we are facing at present. But every problem provides an opportunity for a human. Hello.
I request everybody to mute themselves. Thank you. Sir, you may continue.
Thank you so much. So here, there are a lot of technical advancements have happened during this pandemic session, particularly in the biopharmaceutical industry. So which I experienced it personally, where I'll be explaining you how it happened here. So now the growing interest has happened, the artificial intelligence, cloud computing, robotics, 3D printing, a lot of genomics like high throughput screening methods have been rushed into the technical aspects of pharmaceutical industry, where they've been adopted successfully and also been proven against the COVID-19. So these technologies are adopted by many organizations throughout the world. So here, these are the following 4 points I would like to explain here. The technical advancement that pharmaceutics adopted during the COVID-19 drug discovery platform. As you know, in the early December 2019, when the first case been registered in China, so the doctors found the patients are showing the unusual symptoms, and they found this is not a regular disease or infection. They found it is a completely new to the medical science. So immediately, some of the doctors has reported to the government officials of China. From there, the adaptation to understanding the disease has been started and initiated. The day first this happened and registered as a new disease or infection, they started to understand what it is exactly by using the many advanced scientific techniques and tools. So first of all, I would like to explain what are the technical advancements that happened here. One is the 3D drug printing, artificial intelligence based drug discovery, omics platforms, and high throughput screening methods. So here below you can see ABCs of drug development of COVID-19, what happened exactly, how the drug development took place during the COVID-19 for the past this 7 months. Initially, the virus structure being studied. So once they found out what is the virus, is it a novel virus or any existing viruses, or the comparison between the novel and existing viruses. So the database being created by using the modern tools. Once the virus being confirmed, again the genomics of this virus being studied. That means the genome of the virus being sequenced and analyzed. Then they understood based on the clinical outcomes of the patient, the symptoms shown by the patients, the drug discovery platforms being initiated, where now you have seen that many clinical development progresses are happening nowadays. So I would like to explain what are the step-by-step tools that took place as a technical advancement during the drug discovery platform in the pharmaceutical industries. I'll explain about 3D printing later, but before that, I would like to go to the artificial intelligence. As you know that artificial intelligence is very much adopted nowadays by many organizations internationally. Even though artificial intelligence been proposed 30 years before, but the main platform been established 10 years before. And also, the earlier signs of artificial intelligence being used in many industries like automobile industries and data industries, and also some software engineering companies. But nowadays, artificial intelligence being used by the medical and the pharmaceutical industries. This is a huge technical advancement happening from past 10 to 15 years. So what exactly artificial intelligence means? Artificial intelligence is a cloud data. It's the compilation of the entire data generated and researched by the humans and been compiled in a system where it is being placed in a cloud of data. So the computer-based systems, they analyze the entire data and they pull out the essence of the data. For example, you have given a disease name, so and you're structured and you requested to find a pathway of a particular protein. So by using the metabolomics and the genomic techniques and the available data, the artificial intelligence pulls out the entire information in a fraction of seconds and provides you data which is more reliable to your query. So this is the most advanced technique nowadays adopted by the medical and pharmaceutical industries. And also you can see the many surgeries being initiated in Japan and China and many other Western countries, many operations in the medical history being performed nowadays by using the robotic-based artificial intelligence. In future, you can see only robots performing the surgeries and robots performing the drug development processes. This is the huge technical advancement. So artificial intelligence for target-based and phenotype drug discovery, how it is used. Artificial intelligence for dealing the biomedical, clinical, and patient data. Artificial intelligence for polypharmacology discovery, drug repurposing programs, biomarker development, analyzing research literature, publication, and patents. You can see here how it is working, artificial intelligence. You can see here this R analysis, the system analysis, repurposing analysis is here happening, where the drug designing based studies is happening, and it leading to the ADMET studies, the toxicology studies, by using the complete artificial intelligence based drug discovery platform. This is a general protocol you can see here. How the compound library being developed, how throughput screens being included in the artificial intelligence. This is how the artificial intelligence works. So it is a science of making machines do things requiring the human intelligence. It is human intelligence in machine format, where computer program develop database decisions and perform tasks normally performed by humans. So that means the entire data is fed in a software, in a computer, where the computer generates an answer to a certain query, just like human tasking. So it is done artificially, but the time period of artificial intelligence is in a fraction of seconds when compared to the human decision making. So this is nothing but the machine learning. That means even though the machine learning initially is a slow process, once the machine get adopted towards a program, the results are astonishing. It will be very faster and quick. It's a deep machine learning. So you can see where the artificial intelligence being applied in agriculture, in translation, healthcare, in manufacturing, bionic machine, internet, finance, and travel. I can talk about being a healthcare professional. I would like to talk about the healthcare and manufacturing. In the pharmaceutical industry, artificial intelligence is used in the product lining during manufacturing, where the default tablets being discarded automatically, where the weight variation tablets are discarded artificially by the artificial intelligence. It's a pre-program where they discover the default molecules or default drug manufacturing protocols, and they omit them automatically. So this is how the artificial intelligence work. So this is how the artificial intelligence methodology will work. For example, there is a disease prediction. First of all, we do the disease prediction by the next generation studies, NGS, next generation sequences, genomics, and we do the structural analysis, the COVID-19 being structurally analyzed for the COVID-19. And after that, once the structural analysis being done for the COVID-19, you know that the COVID-19 has got the target proteins like spike protein and the main protease and the peptide-like protease. These are the three main drug targets for the COVID-19 once the target being decided. And this structure is almost similar to many other viruses of the coronaviridae family, such that already those drugs are for the nearby viruses and other related families have been used. So by giving these structures to the artificial intelligence, it will propose the existing drugs. What is a repurposing drug? A drug that is already used for some other purpose, for treating the some other disease, that is being used for the new disease that is happening now. In the COVID case, lot of antiviral drugs that are used for hepatitis B, for HIV, being purposed to use against the COVID-19 disease. This is called repurposing. The drugs which are used for some other disease are used now for the COVID-19. This is called the repurposing. So this is done by the artificial intelligence network, and where the drug development initiation being started. So now these are the top pharmaceutical companies that have been acquired the artificial intelligence space. So they are like Roche, Johnson & Johnson, Novartis, Pfizer, Merck, Sanofi, AstraZeneca, GSK, Avio, Bristol Myers. I think you all heard about these companies. These are the leading companies now working throughout the world, particularly for the drug discovery platform, vaccine development. So all these companies has adopted the artificial intelligence, like Atomwise. This is one of the artificial intelligence platform for vaccine and drug development, Atomwise. So these all companies has adopted the artificial intelligence for the drug discovery and drug development. This is a network, drug target network for the COVID-19, how it happened. So from the structure analysis of COVID-19 given to artificial intelligence programming, it has generated the network of the drug targets that should be happening for the COVID-19, that should be adopted for the COVID-19. So for the repurposing novel coronavirus 2019, so by the Eddie Joe et al. Has been published how the network-based drug repurposing can help to treat the novel coronavirus. And these are the drugs that are proposed by the artificial intelligence to treat the novel coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2. So you can see a lot of the repurposed drugs like dexamethasone and also the many drugs like lopinavir, ritonavir, antiviral drugs, paritraprevir, entecavir. These are all the antiviral drugs that are repurposed to use against the COVID-19. So you can see the MERS drug, SARS-CoV-1, which is the SARS-1 pandemic, and also a lot of antiviral drugs are being used against the COVID-19, which are proposed as repurposed drugs against COVID-19. This is a network-generated drug discovery by the artificial intelligence to treat the COVID-19. And it is how it works, high throughput screening application in drug discovery. So now how the high throughput screening applications can be incorporated with the artificial intelligence. Once artificial intelligence proposes the certain drugs to treat against the drug targets, so now the drugs being analyzed. So you have received your molecule of interest to target certain drug targets of COVID-19. So once the drugs are finalized, it is given to high throughput screening techniques like the assays, like protein assays, anti-protein assays, and the toxicology studies. A lot of molecular techniques are done by the robotics and machines. Machine-based assays are available nowadays. And these platforms are called as high throughput screening techniques, which are a combination of the modern molecular techniques along with the artificial intelligence. This is how the high throughput screening works. Usually in the 1960s and 1970s, it used to take 10 to 12 years or even more than 20 years to develop a complete drug which should be coming into the market. But now, by application of artificial intelligence, and also the high throughput screening techniques, the drug discovery became very easy, and in a short term period, more than 1 to 3 years, the drugs are coming into the market. Look, where the 20 years time period of drug development and the only 1 to 3 years of the drug development. So it had cut down the entire time period, so where the many lives can be saved now. So this is the modernization happening now because of this pandemic has created a beautiful opportunity of application of artificial intelligence and also blending the high throughput molecular techniques with the artificial intelligence to bring very fast drug discovery platforms. So this is how the artificial intelligence and the high throughput screening techniques are merged together. This is a very small example. DDR1 is a protein target something. It is given to the generative tensorial reinforcement learning, GENTRL. GENTRL is an artificial intelligence software network where you have given a protein target, where the rapid synthesis artificially happens at a very faster rate, and the very molecules, you can see here, all the molecules which are the molecules are being proposed against the target, and you can see which are positive in the green and negative non-targets, not targeted molecules here. And later the high throughput screening techniques are introduced within the artificial intelligence where the in vitro assays are performed and the drug discovery reaches to the clinical studies. This is how the merging of artificial intelligence and the high throughput screening occurred at present. So you can see this is how the artificial intelligence has generated the drug targets. Polypharmacology needed to design the best anti-COVID-19 drugs. What is polypharmacology? That means you are targeting multiple targets within the host body and within the host cells and also the viral, that is the antigen, the viral pathogen. So you are targeting the multiple proteins, multiple targets. That is called the polypharmacology. For example, COVID-19 has got the multiple activity in the human body, like it is having the ubiquitin enzyme activity, it is having the zinc adoption activity, it is having the and also furin enzyme activities, lysozyme activity. So the entire genome of the COVID-19, the SARS-CoV-2 virus, is having the multiple function. The gene ontology studies done by us in the month of March, which was accepted by the WHO, one of our paper being accepted by WHO, where we proposed the gene ontology of entire novel coronavirus through using the artificial intelligence. You can see the paper online, the computational studies and methods for the gene ontology of SARS-CoV-2, which was published by me and my team. So that paper has given very good inputs to the entire world about the gene ontology of the entire SARS-CoV-2 polypharmacological study. So nextly, how the omics platforms are working. I have explained you the next step after the artificial intelligence and the high throughput screening, how the omics platform, the modern molecular techniques, the next generation sequencing techniques are helping in drug discovery platform, fast drug discovery platforms. What is the omics? There are the 4 types of omics: genomics, transcriptomics, proteomics, and metabolomics. All these 4 platforms are called as the omics platforms. A genomics is a study-based, sequence-based study where the microchip array technologies are used to study or sequence the entire MALDI-TOFs. MALDI-TOF is in the sequinomes and the MALDI-TOFs and next generation sequences. All these three tools are used to sequence the entire genome of an organism. So once the COVID-19, the SARS-CoV-2 being discovered in China, the sequence being released within 1 month. In the January 23, we have received the sequence. See, within 1 month, we have got the entire sequence of coronavirus. Usually it takes only a week to produce the sequence of the coronavirus. So genomics is one platform where we can sequence and study the entire genome of an organism. And later the transcriptomics, you all know the transcription process from DNA to RNA. So once a genomic study, DNA study been done, and the next the transcriptomics, RNA plays very key important role in any diseases because these are the messengers. They carry the information of a disease or a metabolism. So studying the transcriptomics, we can understand the final targeting proteins. What is happening exactly? What is the mutations are happening? What exactly the metabolic mishappening is happening in the cell? And later the proteomics, the proteins. In SARS-CoV-2, the SARS virus, the proteomics also plays very important role, the protein sequencing. The spike protein sequence being done using the proteomic sequencing. 6VXX RCSB code, this is the protein database banking, where the spike protein of SARS-CoV-2 being registered. So the Australian and American and European teams, they have produced the crystal structure of SARS-CoV-2 that by using the proteomic analysis. And now we have been using the metabolic structure where the drug targeting being studied, how the metabolics of the drug and metabolics of the infection being happening. So these are the 4 platforms that shortens the drug discovery. You can see how they work integratedly in the modern healthcare system. From the disease understanding in its molecular level to the drug discovery platform, and also the clinical implications of the drug are being studied by using the genomics platform. Even by once a drug is being given to the patient, we can analyze the entire metabolics of the drug and how the drug is functioning and what are the side effects of the drug and what are the side metabolites of the secondary and primary metabolites of the drug by using the metabolomic techniques, which are most important for the clinical implications. This is the one method. These are the 4 platforms which are also used to fasten the COVID-19 drug discovery platforms. So this is how being integrated: genomics, transcriptomics, proteomics, metabolomics, phenomics, ionomics. You can see and ionomics and phenomics are the part of metabolomics. Originally, we have only 4 omics platform: genomics, proteomics, and metabolomics. Ionomics and phenomics are part of metabolomics. You can see how they function here, each and everything. So global impact of COVID-19 on biopharmaceutical industry. So before going to that, I'd like to go back how the 3D printing being used. So there is a 3D printing. COVID-19 disease has been showing patient to patient the disease outcome is different. Some of them are facing fever, some of them facing the sore throat, some of them facing the severe breathing problem because of the severe inflammation. In some patients, sepsis is happening. That is some type of infections are happening, rare infection. So different patients are showing different clinical symptoms. So that means we have to give the different drugs based on the personalized medicine of a patient. This is too much advanced technology where the one patient comes to your clinic where based on the clinical outcome, clinical symptom of a single individual patient, and also based on his genomic study, we prepare a drug on a platform immediately. It is called as the 3D printing. So there is one epileptic drug being approved by FDA as a 3D printing drug. So this is mostly for the based on the individual patient clinical symptoms. This is a personalized medicine. So this is a 3D printing, drug printing being adopted by some medical facilities where based on the individual patient proper characteristic clinical outcomes, the drug being prepared instantly and printed and being given. Earlier, the 3D printing being used for the prosthetic arms, prosthetic limb developments. and also some of the toys in manufacturing industries. Now the 3D printing also being used by the pharmaceutical industry during the COVID-19. So you can see now how the technical advancements has fastly undertook during this pandemic. 3D printing, artificial intelligence, omics integration of omics platform and high throughput screening methods with artificial intelligence. This is the beauty of the modern science, where the integration of all these technologies together has created the entire drug discoveries for the novel coronavirus. Now, I would like to explain the global impact of COVID-19 and biopharmaceutical industries. I have already shown you many industries has adopted the artificial intelligence to develop the drugs for the COVID-19. So this is how, as per the report of the SCAGR, the 9%, there was a huge development of the antiviral drug market during the SARS-CoV-2 infection. There was a $43.37 billion incremental growth of the global antiviral drug market, like lopinavir, ritonavir, and favipiravir, which was a recent launch of the drug discovery platform. Favipiravir is a new drug launched by Glenmark. Actually, indeed, this drug was proposed by us in January and later adopted by the Glenmark. So this is the drug favipiravir, one of the Japanese anti-flu drug used for the chicken industry. So later this been adopted as a best drug to treat against the SARS-CoV-2, which was repurposed by using the artificial intelligence techniques, and later clinical trials also proven it is working excellently. So like this lopinavir ritonavir combination also shown excellent clinical outcome in many patients. So this is how the artificial intelligence and drug discovery platforms together has boosted the global economy of the antiretroviral drug market. Indian scenario of pharmaceutical industry during COVID-19. In India, lot of development has exposed our weaknesses. So Indian pharmaceutical industry, where our industries are lacking the, we are losing, we don't have the APIs, active pharmaceutical ingredients, or we have the lack of the pharmaceutical ingredients manufacturers in India. Coronavirus has shown our weakness. Indian pharma sector has to come out, has shown not only weakness, it also shown the opportunity for us, where the many entrepreneurs can come out, many chemists can come out and establish the pharmaceutical active ingredient manufacturing units can be established, because we usually depend on China and the European market to buy the lot of the APIs from the outside the country. We import huge amount, but now India should start manufacturing their own pharmaceutical active ingredients. We should stop the dependence, where our pharmaceutical industry can lead the world. We have the huge potential. We are the first people to stock. We have the huge potential. Recently, Bill Gates also has said that India has got the huge potential to develop the vaccine for coronavirus. So this is the pandemics, how they work in the healthcare system. I would like to cross faster as the time is running out. Here, this pandemic crisis has shown a lot of weakness and strength of our healthcare system. So you can see how it is happening. So how the companies are responding. So all the pharmaceutical companies are established the crisis management team, even including our accounts also established the crisis management team. I'm the member of the COVID disaster team, where we usually break these shifts and we reduce the minimum contacts of the people, and we are using artificial intelligence in our manufacturing and also in our the regular day-to-day works, and we are using the lot of softwares only to reduce the minimum contacts with the people. We are not meeting directly to any customers, we are not meeting directly to any team members. So we are doing everything by using the robotics and other computational technologies. This is how we are we are facing the pandemic situation. So business opportunities are huge. We have developed a lot of antiviral drug targets by repurposing drugs, and where the manufacturing abilities being increased through artificial intelligence and robotics being increased. So that increased our minimal contact, human contact, and reduced the rate of infection among the teams. So we increased the supply chain management and also the business channels through the online resources, and the financial pressure being reduced. So this is how the healthcare system is working. So patients, we are taking care of the patients, analyzing, as you know, India India has launched the Arogyasri app. Through Arogya app, where the patients can be tracked whether you are near to the patient risk zone or not. It predicts whether you are living in a risk zone or moderate risk zone or you are in a green zone. So by using this modern applications, even including government of India is doing excellent job where the COVID patient data history being generated. So the database being clouded in the government software where everyone can analyze whether you are in a risk zone or not. So even hospitals also generating the clinical data and being providing the data to the pharmaceutical industries about the clinical outcomes and novel symptoms, what are the new symptoms of the coronavirus patient, and where again we've been using this type of thing for the entire drug development purpose and the workforce being created for it. So this is the COVID-19 phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 preparation methods where the healthcare systems and hospitals being utilized, and the vaccine development being adopted by 150 throughout the world. More than 150 vaccines being trialed now, including Oxford University vaccine and Moderna RNA-based vaccine. A lot of techniques we are using. So as you know, the many data being shown fruitful initial first and second phase, and most of the vaccines are now going through the phase 3 clinical trials, and soon we may expect the a very good vaccine against this one. And usually, being the coronavirus researcher, I would like to say the coronavirus is a general flu virus, cold virus family virus, where every one of us might be being infected in our lifetime by a similar type of virus belonging to the coronaviridae family. So that's why don't worry. This is also a flu type virus which is having the high infectivity rate. Even the death rate of coronavirus is 2 to 4% when compared to the death rate of flu virus. The Spanish flu happened in 1910, which killed more than 5 crore people throughout the world in 1910 and 1922. And also the SARS-CoV-1, which happened in 2002, it killed more than 10% of the infected people. And also the MERS, which is killed more than 8% of the infected people. So when compared to the earlier pandemics, the novel coronavirus pandemic is only, the death rate is only 2 to 4%. So, but we are getting more panicked because it's been exposed more and discussed more. So let us concentrate and isolate ourselves and protect our families individually, and also take our social responsibility to safeguard each and every one of us, and also be healthy, stay healthy to create the strong country now. So kindly don't fear, don't get panic. This virus is a regular flu virus being occurred thousands of years before, and this type of virus, coronavirus, are known for their mutation. But they keep on mutations and they create a lot of diseases. So this is one of the viruses of the coronavirus family. So these are the vaccine companies and the collaboration. A lot of companies being collaborated by using these modern techniques and tools. So thank you so much for each and every one of you for giving me this beautiful opportunity to explain and to share my views on COVID-19 and the technical advancements that have happened during the COVID-19 in the biopharmaceutical industry. Thank you so much and all the best. Thank you for the organizers. I thank you. I especially thank the BLACKBOARD organizers and the committee members and the event organizer. Thank you so much and all the best for the beautiful session.
Thank you, Dr. Hemant sir, for joining us today. That was a really thought-provoking session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Today, everybody is desperately waiting for the vaccines. Just a minute.
There is a question here.
Yes, sir.
What is the coronavirus global response, right? For a QA question. So I hope the people online can put some questions. So out of which we can answer your queries. I request you to put some queries.
Today, everybody is desperately waiting for the vaccines to come out so that they can unlock themselves from this lockdown. Well, we have someone today who currently works at the Bharat Serums and Vaccines Limited based in Mumbai as a manager of R&D department. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Shagun Trivedi. He is a holder of double master's degree with expertise in formulation research and development of NDDS. Sir holds immense knowledge of regulatory affairs and IPR. He is an epitome of logical thinker with great determination and devotion who accepts any challenge that comes in his way. Hello, sir. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here with us today.
Hello, by Blackboard team. Thank you for having me for this session.
Sir, I hereby hand over the session to you.
Yeah, sure. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Shagun Trivedi. I am currently working as manager in formulation development department in Bharat Serums and Vaccines Limited. Mostly, I work on generic drug development, and so these are the points I will be covering in today's session. Uh, This is generic drug development, impact of COVID-19, then what are the responses, then impact of COVID-19 or R&D processes, and safeguarding of R&D personnel, which is the most important thing today, charting a recovery plan to come out of this financial crisis also, and what are the current vaccine research and why the vaccine research is taking so much time. So I have been told by Blackboard team that many researchers and students would be there. So firstly, I'll take you to what I do in day-to-day life in my office work. First, this is a generic drug development. I am involved in generic drug development team. So how a generic drug product is developed. So from starting, firstly, when our management gives us a product, then we intensely go after a literature search of this product, patent search, other literatures, other articles, what might be there regarding this, we will search it. Then according to it, API sourcing, APIs are identified. APIs are nothing else, active pharmaceutical ingredients. So the API sourcings are developed, their sources are finalized, then the purchasing is identified, and according to ICH Q3A guideline, uh, the evaluation of these APIs are done. Usually more than 2 APIs are searched, because if in case one API industry shuts down, then we should have another source of API in our hand. Then according to this, what the innovator and RLD we have, we will go through the purchasing of that RLD, and we'll do the reverse engineering. Reverse engineering is nothing else but the RLD evaluation. RLD is reference listed drug. We'll evaluate it, what are the ingredients present in it, or in which quantity they are. According to results, outcomes of this innovator and RLD evaluations, what are the excipients present in that, we'll evaluate it, we select it, and we'll start sourcing it if it is not present with us. Again, what depends on RLD, what are the container closure systems are used by RLD. We have to use the same container closure systems for making us Q1, Q2. equivalent to the innovator RLD product. After that, we do manufacturing process optimization process. In this manufacturing optimization process, what we have to be, we have to produce a product equivalent to the innovator product. What innovator has mentioned in patent, what we have to stick to it. We can optimize, like I am doing liposomal drug delivery, nano suspensions drug delivery. We use many products like uh, homogenizers. So in this RPM, we have to do, what are the RPMs? What are the RPM we have to site on this product? Then after that, once this manufacturing process optimized, then we have to perform stability batches. We have to produce the stability batches. Then once the stability batches are produced according to ICH guidelines, we have to do pilot bio study. Pilot bio study is a bioequivalence study to be done on limited number of patients, limited number of subjects. Once we get an idea of this pilot bio study, then we'll go for technology transfer at plant level. Scaling, that means scaling up of this product, what we are generic drug product. Once we have scale up, like in R&D level, we take 200, maximum 200 to 500 ml batch. We'll be taking in this scale up level, we'll take 5-liter batch. It is almost almost 1/10 of the size of the commercial batch. That is the scale up batch. Then after that, we'll perform, once our scaling up product is finished, we'll perform to the pre-exhibit batches. Here I'll want to indicate one point, that coming from R&D to plant level, the product goes through very different changes. A product at R&D performs very differently to product when taken to plant. Depends on the machines we are using, because the machines at R&D we are using it like 200 ml, 400 ml, 500 ml capacity machine. The machines at plant level, it goes to 10 liter, 20 liters, even also 50 liters. So the problem is the heat. Like if we want to heat a product, at R&D level, the heat exchange process comes up very fast. 200 ml bulk will get heated very fast. But at plant level, when we go, it's the same 50-liter vessel will have a heat exchange very slowly. So we have to optimize also these things at plant level. So scaling up is a major time taking process in product development. After that, we'll take the pre-exhibit batches, then we'll go to exhibit batches, mostly 3 exhibit batches as per US FDA guidelines and EU requirements. We have to take 3 exhibit batches per product. Then after taking these exhibit batches, we'll perform clinical bio studies. What the clinical bio studies we have performed, pilot bio study we have performed earlier, that is the replication of that only, but on larger number of subjects, larger number of patients. After that, we'll be compiling PDR preparation, that is dossier, total data of the product, starting from literature search, process optimization, technology transfer, stability batches, clinical bio study. Whatever data we have generated, we have to file in this dossier. We have to keep in this dossier. That is called a PDR preparation. That is for regulatory purpose. After that, once every product is filed, we'll go for regulatory filing process. Once we have filed a regulatory process,
to interrupt you. Please, everybody, keep yourselves on mute. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Let's again come back to the first slide only. Then once our regulatory filing is completed, this regulatory filing also complies of module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, module 5. Everything should be in accordance with US FDA or EU or which regulatory agency you're filing with. Then comes up the once we'll file that file a product, regulatory filing is done, we'll receive the queries from regulatory agencies within time frame of 1 to 3 months. How much big and critical is your product is, how much studies you have done. Mostly within 2 to 3 months we receive the regulatory queries, and we have to answer that in time frame what they have allotted, like 15 days. Mostly 15 to 20 days time slot uh, they give it to us, and then we have to give the regulatory queries. Then once we reply to their queries, if any, successfully, and if the regulatory agency is happy with us, so they come for a plant audit at our at a plant facility where we will be manufacturing a commercial batches. So once this plant audit is completed, this is the final step of our product development, generic product development. Then we'll get a finished product approval from regulatory agency, green flag, that we can launch our product in market. So this was in short what is generic drug development is all about. Now, as Dr. Hemant has already covered impact of COVID-19, I'll take through you about this impact of COVID-19. Uh, as the novel coronavirus and the disease of this coronavirus spreading around the world, it has really impacted the R&D facilities in a big way, like sourcing of APIs, travel of travel of our products, traveling responsibilities is very much impacted by this COVID-19 crisis. Still, the pharma companies are working front and center, supplying all the vitally related medicines, medical products to the world around. Mostly our R&D labs are working at usually 50% capacities currently due to this COVID-19 crisis. So that has also impacted the flow of work we do to a great level. Mostly our productivity has really fallen back from what we were working at 100%. We have been fallen back around to 25 to 50% of our workflow. So the, that is a very big impact of COVID-19. Still we are trying and come back on the path of recovery. Mostly what are the most mostly what are the responses the pharma R&Ds have taken about this COVID-19 crisis. I'll take you through it. They are the most three main responses. They are resolve, resilience, and reimagination. uh, First is resolve. What are the safety procedures have to be taken for employees, for the scientists working at R&D, other workers working at R&D to be taken are to be taken care of. So most of the R&D firstly are taking care of this thing. And most of the companies R&Ds have finished these procedures. Now they have come to second procedure, that is charting a recovery, how to recover of this crisis. 3-month loss, 3-month stoppage of their products. So how to do that? We have to chart the recovery also. We have to chart the procedures, how to uh, how to manage this crisis, how to come back, how to prevent our losses again, what would be happening in future also, because in near future again this vaccine will take some time to come. So, and we have to work again on 50% capacity only till then. again we have to reform, reimagine, like which experiment we have to conduct, how we have to work, how, with which team we have to work, which product we have to work, which projects are to be taken forward. We have to, these are the main responses. Mostly their major setback for R&D is currently for is employees safeguarding. Like so today mostly R&Ds, like our R&D, we are working, our R&D, our officials, our admin department are providing us proper PPE kit, cap, we are providing us mask, and we are providing us sanitizers. So our work at R&D level won't be affected much. Now we'll come back to charting a recovery, how to recover from this crisis. So majorly this chart recovery will happen in three ways. Three-dimensional recovery would be there. Gradually, like with some restrictions, like mostly people will work 50%. Firstly, we have to work with 10%, 10%, 10% of our population in R&D. Then we have to stepwise increase the population, the attendance procedures in our company. Then another one is stag and then the extended and the return to the full normal afterwards. Once uh, once we have got control over this crisis, then we have to come in full capacity, work in full capacity. Once everyone learn how to manage this crisis, how to safeguard themselves, all the procedures to be followed, then only we can come to full normal. But I think that will take several months, several weeks, because still the infection rate of this disease is increasing day by day. So another slides on recovery plan only. We should be conducting analysis which trials are to be reopened, like previously, which 3 months ago, 4 months ago, which trials have been set back, which projects are important for R&D financially, and financially as well as for economic growth for the company. It has to be reopened, and we have to see the resources what we have in R&D facilities. Like, see, so in this recovery plan, two things are to be managed: which and where, which which experiments, which trials has to be reopened, and where the R&D activity are to be restarted. Where means which, like a containment zone is there. We can't start a facility at, means we can't work with full population and with full eager on that facility which comes in R&D facilities in under containment zone. So we have to make sure our R&D lab is away from that containment zone. So, and also also we after, if we follow this which and where guidelines, we'll be having gradual slow recovery but a fitful recovery for this crisis. Now this recovery plan can be done through cutting edge research. What cutting edge research means? Cutting edge research means a precise work, minimizing the errors. Always R&D is about what I have been taught in my earlier days, in my junior days in R&D, is R&D is all about trial and error method. But during this crisis, we have a limited resources in our hand, as Dr. Hemant previously mentioned in his presentation, that we have API limitations. Currently, we are not looking to import APIs. Mostly, we were dependent for API and excipients from China only, and currently we are not looking importing anything from China currently. So we have to be precise with limited resources with our hand, and minimize the error in R&D lab, as well as coming to the, speedy analysis of the products using more the scientific tools, more frugal innovations and speedy analysis, so that our projects which have been stuck for past 3 to 4 months can move forward fastly. Again, we have to prepare exact protocols and allocate all the resources, all the experiments accordingly among the team members. So for further time, which it won't create any hurdles in our R&D activities. Also, managing R&D staff's manpower effectively. What as a manager I am feeling right now is, what we have adopted is we are working in shifts currently, not on alternate days. Mostly companies are working on alternate days. Alternate days affects the R&D activities, day-to-day activities a lot. So by managing people in coming in shifts, we can we can continue our process also, daily routine also, and we can manage our R&D activities also. And also, last thing is digitalization. We should digitalize everything. As our PM Narendra Modi has already mentioned, uh, we have to be a digital country now. So minimize the meetings, minimize the get-togethers, minimize everything. As much meeting which we can have virtually on digital platforms, we can have it. Now, the finally, uh, vaccine research, where the vaccine research currently is compared to all the industries. Pharmaceutical, like IT industry, automobile industry, currently pharmaceutical industry is having a positive impact of this of this COVID-19 crisis. While see, vaccines, as Dr. Hemant previously mentioned in his, vaccine will take some time to come, and after all, we don't still have a vaccine for HIV still. So, and according to me, a viral vaccines works only, means like 40 to 50% efficiency. So we have to manage, uh, we have to be agile about ourselves. We should, if we work in R&D, we have to maintain social distancing. We have to wear mask daily. We have to sanitize our hands, because vaccine will take a lot of time to come. See, what like many companies like Moderna Pharmaceuticals of US, Russian universities also promise about the vaccines are to be introduced in market, but still it will take much time because it has to be researched on uh, Indian subjects also. So like vaccines would be there, it should the vaccine research includes how it spreads its journey into the bodies of different age groups with morbidities, with all the other symptoms, the impact of this vaccines on drug combination, different drug combination what you are taking, what are different temperature impacts are there, like the vaccine what they have developed in US or UK won't really work in atmosphere what we are having here in India. That, so it has to be, because we have a different immunity than UK. The Indians have different immunity systems. So it has to be researched on this, as the trials are to be taken on Indian subjects also. So here I want to end my presentation. Thanks by Blackboard team for having me for this intellectual session. Stay home, stay safe, and stay inspired. Thank you all.
Thank you. Trivedi, sir, for such an informative session. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
In this time of uncertainty, we all might have Googled at least once the ways to improve our immunity. Knowingly or unknowingly, you might have come across soft gel capsules by Softgel Healthcare based in Chennai, which produces various pharmaceutical and nutraceutical soft gel capsules, such as nutritional supplements, vitamin C supplements, immune boosting supplements, etc. And we are honored today to have with us the head of the R&D department at the Softgel Healthcare Private Limited, Chennai, Mr. K. Yuvraja, sir. Hello, sir. We are really delighted to have you here with us. Sir, you're on mute.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Bijal. I will take this podium.
Yes, sir.
Very good morning to all participants, co-speakers, and BLACKBOARD team. I introduce myself as Nalinikanta Swain, Head R&D, Softgel Healthcare Private Limited, Chennai, holding a 14+ experience in R&D pharma background, currently working on ANDA, Europe, Health Canada, and TGA products. Today, I'm going to present a topic on potential COVID-19 therapeutics currently in development. We'll move on. First, we'll understand what is coronavirus, what is its family, what is its strains, from where it is transmitted, and what are the symptoms. Coronavirus are the large family of virus that cause illness ranging from common cold to severe disease. There are the two major strains, that MERS-CoV and SARS-CoV, Middle East Respiratory Syndrome and Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome. The nCoV, the novel coronavirus, is the new strain that has not been previously identified in humans. Actually, this new coronavirus first identified in China, in Wuhan, in December 2019. Coronavirus are zootonic. What is zootonic? Coronavirus can be transmitted between animals and people. During the detailed investigation, they found that the SARS-CoV was transmitted from civet cat to humans, whereas the MERS-CoV was transmitted from dromedary camel to humans. Also, the several known coronaviruses are circulating in animals that have not yet infected humans. Actually, what are the common symptoms? The common symptoms include like fever, cough, cold, breathing difficulty, loss of taste, loss of smell, etc. Also, in the severe cases, it leads to pneumonia, severe respiratory disorders, kidney failure, sometimes even death. This is the image of the civet cat where the SARS-CoV was transmitted to human in China in 2002. This is the dromedary camel where the MERS-CoV was transmitted to human in Saudi Arabia in 2012. So already the coronavirus family circulating in the population. Okay, now we'll come into the what are the allopathic formulations presently being under development in this pandemic to treat the COVID patient. At present, more than 150 countries are running beyond this vaccine. Now we will see the top rated, the drug Favipiravir, the first approved coronavirus drug in China. Also, they confirmed that the drug Favipiravir shows better safety and efficacy with the 70 patients on their clinical trials. The Novia Pharmaceuticals conducted human clinical trials on the coronavirus vaccine INO 4800. Although they conducted this study on April 2020, they are expecting the results by September 2020. Also, the INO Pharmaceuticals aim to produce 1 million doses of this vaccine at the end of 2020 to perform the additional clinical trials and also to emergency use of this vaccine. Gilead's remdesivir. Actually, this is the broad spectrum antiviral drug, but again, it was repurposed here. But actually, this is the antiviral drug for the Ebola, but it's repurposed here to treat COVID. Actually, they performed the clinical trials on 761 patients in the randomized placebo-controlled double-blind study in the multiple hospitals in Wuhan. They are going to expect these results at the near future. The Moderna's mRNA vaccine 1273 vaccine is undergone phase 1 clinical trial in April with the support of US National Institute of Health, and now it's preparing for the phase 2 study. Actually, what is the mechanism of action? This Moderna's mRNA, they are targeting the spike protein of this coronavirus. Also, the AstraZeneca and the Oxford University vaccine mechanism of action, also they are targeting the spike protein of this coronavirus. Roche's Actimra, the molecule approved in China for the treatment of severe complications related to the coronavirus. Also, they being conducted the clinical trials in China with a 188 coronavirus patient. Actually, the Actimra under the molecule of tocilizumab. The tocilizumab available at the different dosage level like 80 milligram, 200 milligram, 400 milligram. Also, the molecule tocilizumab going to manufacturing in India by Cipla under their own brand. Also, they got the license with Roche and Cipla, the processing on. Chloroquine phosphate. Actually, this is the anti-malarial drug using from decades. It shows better safety and efficacy for the malaria. But again, the purpose was repurposed here. Now, many clinical trials under the way for this COVID. But why they preferred this drug? Actually, this chloroquine phosphate, when we are administering to the COVID patient, it shows better drop in fever. Also, the scientists evaluated that during clinical trials, it shows the shorter recovery. Also, the many clinical trials still under the way. An intranasal COVID vaccine, intranasal. So already they found oral administration by IV. So the few pharmaceutical companies targeting on the intranasal, actually similar to Nasovax, is being developed by the US-based pharmaceutical company called Altimmune. Actually, now they are preparing for the animal study. The Nasovax, what is Nasovax? Actually, this is the influenza vaccine by intranasal. What Nasovax will do? It will support for the mucosal immunity, antibody immunity, cellular immunity, and innate immunity. Now we will see what are the top rated pharma companies and what is their vaccine name under which stages of clinical trials. We'll see the one by one. The Mijal IBV vaccine, it's under preclinical trials. Epiron Biologics, APN01 under phase 1 trial. Tonic Pharmaceuticals, TNX 1800 initial evaluation. Innovation Pharmaceuticals, Brilacidine initial evaluation. Clover Pharmaceuticals, Estrumar vaccine preclinical trials. Vexad, the vaccine name to be confirmed, preclinical trials. Cytodine, Lenarlimab. Actually, it's a phase 2 for the HIV. Now it's a fast tracking for this COVID. Applied DNA Sciences and Taxis Biotech, linear DNA vaccine under preclinical trials. Bioxutran, BX25, the development stage yet to confirm. Novavax, MERS-CoV vaccine, phase 1 trial. Biocryst Pharma, Galdesigir, advanced animal testing. Takeda, monoclonal antibody, the development stage to be confirmed. Heat Biologics, GP96 vaccine under the early development. Pfizer and BioNTech, mRNA vaccine BNT162. The clinical program, they are focusing on China. So the generics, the IK immune system activation, they are focusing on China for the clinical trials. Okay, now we'll see the Favipiravir. It's a Glenmark molecule. Also, the Glenmark receives the first pharmaceutical company in India to receive the DCG approval to treat for the mild to moderate patients. Also, in the clinical stages, they confirmed that around 88% they saw clinical improvement by reducing the viral load by 4 days. Also, they incorporated the age group people from 20 to more than 90 years. Also, the patient, including the comorbid conditions like diabetes, heart disease, etc. Already, the Glenmark confirms their brand name as Fabiflu. Actually, this is the Favipiravir, not the molecule of this Glenmark. Actually, this is the Japanese API available since 2014. And this is the influenza virus, but again, the purpose was repurposed here. The Favipiravir, it's available in the 200 milligram tablet at the maximum retail price of 3,500 rupees for the strip of 34 tablet. What is the dose? Actually, the 1,800 milligram twice daily, and the day 1 followed by 800 milligram twice daily up to day 14. Already DCGI issued the marketing and manufacturing approval to the Glenmark to manufacturing this molecule under the brand name of Fabiflu. Remdesivir. Actually, this is the molecule of Gilead, but already the top pharma companies in India, they got licensed with the Gilead, like a Hetero, DRL, Dr. Reddy's Laboratory. They are going to manufacturing this molecule under their own brand. Already the Hetero confirmed the brand COVID-4. The COVID-4 already the strength confirms it's 100 milligram injectable vials, the route of administration by IV. Covaxin by Bharat Biotech, the most expected Indian vaccine, already enters into the human clinical trials. The vaccine confirms that actually the vaccine, what is the base of the vaccine, from where it is the vaccine strains was taken. Actually, this is the strains taken from the SARS-CoV-2 virus, and the strains were isolated in the National Institute of Virology, Pune. Also, the Bharat Biotech plan to enroll 1,100 people in the first 2 phases of the clinical trial. They plan to confirm 375% on the first phase and 750 people at the second phase. During their preclinical trials, it shows that safe and immune response on the animal testing. Biocon itolizumab. Biocon itolizumab already receives the DCGA note for the moderate to severe COVID patients. The itolizumab already available under the brand name of Alzumab for treating moderate to severe COVID-19 for the symptoms of cytokine release syndrome and for acute respiratory distress syndrome. Itolizumab is the world first anti-CD6 novel biologics therapy approved for the treating of moderate to severe patients. Also, this is the not a new molecule. This is not a new API. The itolizumab available since 2013. Available since 2013 under the brand name of Alzumab. Actually, this is the chronic plague psoriasis drug, but now it's promoting for the COVID vaccine, for the COVID drug. Yeah, actually the DCGI approves the psoriasis injection itolizumab for the restricted emergency use. Also, on the 4th July 2020, WHO press release confirms that they are going to discontinue the hydroxychloroquine, lopinavir, and ritonavir from their treatments. Why? What is the reason? Actually, the Solidarity Trial Steering International Committee confirms that there is no reduction in the mortality of the hospitalized COVID patient when compared to the standard care. Actually, this Solidarity Trial International Steering Committee organized by the WHO to fast track on this COVID pandemic. So they already confirmed that there is no much improvement in the clinical trials, so they plan to discontinue these 3 molecules from their trials. Vaccine tracker. More than 150 vaccines are under being development. Now we will see the top rated by the country wise. In China, out of 4 companies, CanSino Biologics and Beijing Institute of Biotech already completed their phase 3 trials and got approved for the limited use in China. And the unit in the US, the Novavax and under phase 2 study, and the Moderna's mRNA vaccine under the phase 2 study, and in Germany, BioNTech study, in UK, Imperial College of London phase 2 study, and the AstraZeneca and the Oxford University vaccine. Now it's under a phase 3 study. In the recent TV news, we heard that the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine is showing better immune response. Actually, they are targeting the spike protein. The mechanism of action play beyond that. Also, the AstraZeneca Vaccine Private Limited under the phase 1 study in India, the 2 pharma players like Zydus Cadila, Zycov under a preclinical testing is like animal testing. Bharat Biotech, happy to say that it's already entered into the human trials. Okay, now we will see what is the Ministry of Ayush recommendation and what National Institute of Siddha promoting their medication for this COVID pandemic. Yes, Ministry of Ayush already released the general measures. So drink warm water throughout the day, daily practice of yogasana, pranayama, and medication for at least 30 minutes. And we need to consume like turmeric, cumin, coriander, garlic in our day-to-day life. The Ayurvedic immunity promoting measures. Already the Ministry of Ayush already they issued what to be taken. So take Chyawanprash 10 gram daily in the morning. Drink herbal tea made with basil, tulsi, cinnamon, black pepper, dry ginger, raisin 1 or 2 times a day. And we need to drink golden milk. It's nothing but turmeric in the hot milk. Yeah. Also, the Ministry of Ayush, they are recommending apply sesame oil, coconut oil, or ghee in the both the nostril morning and the evening. And also, they are preferring do oil pulling therapy. Take sesame oil, coconut oil, and do gargling and rinse with warm water. So when we are persisting with a dry cough or sore throat, so what could be the remedy from the oils? So they are confirming that steam inhalation with fresh pudina mint leaf or caraway seed can be practiced in 1 hour a day. Also, the clove powder, the lavanga powder, to be mixed with honey and to be taken in a day for the cough and throat irritation. Okay, this is Ayush Kavat. We can say that immune boosting decoction. What it contains? It contains tulsi, cinnamon, ginger, and black pepper. How to consume? Take 3 grams of this Ayush Kavat powder and to be boiled in warm water at the approximately 150 ml of warm water and consume like a regular tea. Actually, already they confirmed that this will boost our immunity system when we are consuming regularly. As I confirmed, this tulsi, cinnamon, black pepper, and ginger officinalis is the dry ginger. So this will boost our immunity by taking 1 to 2 times a day. Also, the Ayush Kavat available in the online platforms like Amazon too. Kabasura Kudinir. What is this Kabasura Kudinir? Actually, this is the Siddha-based formulation available not at this pandemic. This is the Siddha-based formulation available from the we can say that from decades. Actually, this helps to reduce the fever, swine flu. It acts as an antipyretic, analgesic, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, hepatoprotective, anti-diabetic, anti-asthmatic, anti-tussive, immunomodulatory, anti-diarrheal, antioxidant. So we can say that this Kabasura Kudinir contain 15 rare herbal ingredients that will definitely promote our immunity system. There is no doubt on that. So as I confirm, these are the 15 herbal ingredients. I can confirm few names here like Suku, Tipili, Lavangam, Korekilangu, and Nilavembu leaf. Also, they are calling as Kabasura Kasayam. It controls all type of viral fevers, work as an immunity booster, and ensure faster recovery for this infection. Again, the same the Siddha-based medication like Nilavembu Kudinir. What is it contain? This Nilavembu Kudinir contain rare 9 herbal ingredients that act as again, it's act as antiviral, antibacterial, and also strengthen the liver and boost immunity. And also these Nilavembu Kudinir, especially they practicing when the dengue, chikungunya are in place from the long decades. Also, the complete like Nilavembu Kudinir, Kabasura Kudinir, completely available in the online platform. Okay, now we'll come into the third category. Actually, initially we seen what is allopathy formulation, and we seen what is the Ministry of Ayush and Siddha. Now we'll come into the micronutrients. Whether micronutrients have any role on this COVID immunity boosting? Yes, in a major great way. Vitamin C, everybody will have vitamin C. So vitamin C is available in different form. It's available in powder form, it's available in liquid form, in the different molecular range like ascorbic acid, ascorbyl palmitate, and yeah, so on. And vitamin C, we can say that it's a powerful antioxidant, and vitamin C have antibacterial and anti-inflammatory effect, and that can fight against pathogens. Yeah, also the vitamin C helps to produce the antibody and white blood cells, the lymphocyte. Actually, these pathogens and these lymphocyte can fight against and prevent diseases. What is it? The major sources. Actually, the vitamin C available majorly in the like citrus fruits like a lemon, orange. Also in the vegetables include like broccoli, spinach, cauliflower, carrot, bell pepper, and cantaloupe. Vitamin E, the potent antioxidant that improve our immune function. Also the vitamin E available in the 2 major forms like natural and synthetic. The natural vitamin E they are calling as D-alpha tocopherol, and the synthetic vitamin E they are calling as DL-alpha tocopherol acetate. The vitamin E is available in the soft-gel dosage form under the dose of from 100 IU to 1000 IU. The higher concentration of vitamin E found in the immune cells when compared to the regular cells in the body. Several clinical trials, they have provided evidence and shows that vitamin E regulate the number of natural killer cells that can prevent infection. What is the major sources? Also the seeds like almond, peanut, sunflower seed, pumpkin seed are the richest source of vitamin E. Also the vitamin E and they are using for cosmetic application. Beta carotene. What is it? Beta carotene. Actually, this is a plant compound that the body can convert into vitamin E. Vitamin E, we can call it as eye vitamin. The micronutrients that play important role in the eye health. Vitamin A enhance the immunity by regulating the antibacterial and anti-inflammatory response. So, and also vitamin A can fight against tuberculosis, pneumonia, malaria, and herbs. What is the richest source? We can say that the bright vegetables like carrot, pumpkin, cantaloupe, bell pepper, etc. Also here the vitamin A is available in different forms like vitamin A palmitate, vitamin A acetate. Also it's available in powder form, liquid form, the molecule. Vitamin D, I can say that this is the sun vitamin, yeah. Vitamin D, what's it will do? Actually the vitamin D support for the calcium absorption and the bone development. Actually vitamin D enhance the immunity by regulating the antimicrobial response. Also the body immune response infection and reduce the risk of the autoimmune disease like multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, and the inflammatory bowel diseases. What is its common source? There is a two different sources. The common source from food, the common source from natural. The common source of food includes like mushroom, egg, raw milk, salmon, tuna, and the whole grain oats. And we can say that vitamin D we can easily get from the natural daylight. Yeah, there is a study from Indonesia. They are confirming that with a 780 patient of positive patient, and they are testing for this vitamin D level, and it confirms that 98.9% they are showing deficiency, 87.8% they are insufficient, only 4.1% of this COVID patient they are confirming normal. So we can say that vitamin D is the important micronutrients required for the patient to support immunity response. Also the 20 nanogram per ml, this is the very least level. The means the normal level ranges from 30 nanogram per ml. Also we need to consume 1000 IU of vitamin D per day to maintain the normal calcium level in the body. So we can say that the richest source like red meat, egg, oily fish, and the liver. B complex. B complex includes like thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, pantothenic acid, pyridoxine, biotin, folic acid, cyanocobalamin, methylcobalamin. So these are the correctly called as, we can say that it's a B complex vitamins. It's a folate. It's in various body function, including the immunity, metabolism, and DNA synthesis. Also the folate regulates the cell growth and the cell development. Also it's promoting for wound healing and stimulate the tissue response. Also the folate increases the production of the antibody, so that can help the disease fighting against pathogen. So what are the common sources? We can say that it's a greeny leaf, beans, legume, avocado, broccoli, bell pepper, beets, and nuts. Iron, it's a component of hemoglobin. Iron boosts the immunity system, and also it produces the white blood cells, so that compact against the pathogen and prevent diseases. Also iron can inhibit the growth of the bacteria and induce cell cycle arrest, also the programmed cell death of the cancer cells. So what are the richest source? We can say that beef, chicken, oyster, beans, cashew, broccoli, whole grains, those are the rich source of this iron. Zinc, yeah, zinc, we can say that this is the prime micronutrient. This is the important mineral required for this COVID immunity boosting. Zinc is available in many forms like zinc acetate, zinc oxide, zinc amino acid chelate. Based on the salt form, the bioavailability may vary. Zinc, we can say that this is the powerful antiviral and anti-inflammatory property, can reduce the risk and the duration of the respiratory tract infection like common cold, flu, pneumonia. Also even the WHO and the US government and the Indian government and the Tamil Nadu government and most of the team, they are promoting the vitamin C and zinc in their COVID patient, those who are administered in the hospital. So in one of the multivitamin, that means the zinc and vitamin C, it's a mandatory nutrient to be consumed at this period. Also, the higher concentration of zinc, we have shown that improve natural killer cell activity. Zinc is proven to be effective at the slower rate of the similar virus such as SARS. Actually, zinc having property to slower the rate of the SARS. So the SARS-CoV also it's related to the new COVID. Also for the common cold replicated, and also the body requires zinc to develop the activate the T lymphocyte. Actually, these are the antibodies that can promote the immune system response. What is the excellent source? What is the source? It can include like pork, beef, chicken, beans, nuts, raw milk, and plain yogurt. So these are the richest source of zinc. Sermo. Sermo conducted a study over that. So what are the medications presently being prescribed for their patients, and what to be how to be taken, and what are the percentage they are recommending? Actually, the Sermo study confirms that acetaminophen, it's a paracetamol, they are recommending 58%, and the antihistamine, decongestion, and the cough medicine around 48%, and vitamin C 32%. They are practicing this vitamin C. Also, the other NSAID, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, 22%, zinc 21%, vitamin D 19%, and the homeopathic supplements around 7%. Okay, if you see the Chinese tradition, around 45% they are following their traditional medicine from the Chinese. Also, they confirm that this is effective. We'll see that, and the US physician, they are recommending around 32% of vitamin C, around 26% of zinc, around 26% of vitamin D to their patients. Actually, Sermo is the largest global healthcare pooling company and social platform for this survey. These are the important collective micronutrients to be consumed in this pandemic, like zinc, iron, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and the B complex. The mask, I can say this is our new friend. But what WHO is saying on the mask? Actually, when we are continuously wearing the medical mask, it does not cause any carbon dioxide intoxication or any oxygen deficiency. So we can wear the mask without any complication. Also, we should not wear the disposable mask frequently. Okay, now we will see the what is the current status. Means this is the data up to yesterday by the WHO. More than 15 million confirmed cases, and the death count crossed more than 6.28 lakhs. If you see the graphical view from the March to July, the cases was the graphical was increasing. So we can say that the coronavirus cases are keep on increasing. If you see the death count, the graphical wave shows that from the March to April, the death count was higher, but it's maintaining. Okay, if you see the continent-wise, by America, they crossed more than 8 million confirmed cases. In Europe, they crossed more than 3 million confirmed cases. In Southeast Asia, they crossed 1 million confirmed cases. In East Mediterranean, more than 1 million confirmed cases. In Africa, more than 6.42 confirmed cases. In West Pacific, it's 2.76 lakh. Okay, this is the data up to yesterday. Now we will compare what is the India status and what is the US status, what about the confirmed cases and also the death. If you see the confirmed cases, it's more than 1.2 million, the confirmed cases. If you see in the US, it's a 3.9. And also the death counts confirm that 30,601, whereas in US, it's a 1.42 lakhs. We can say more than 5 times the death count was increased in the US. Now we are at the end of the session. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for the participants. Thank you BlackBoard team to organize such a great session. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for such an enlightening session. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
PharmaState is an online ecosystem of the global pharmaceutical industry. This platform aims to be the mainstay of all pharma discussions, new updates, etc. We could not miss this opportunity of inviting the CEO of PharmaState to be one of our panelists. Introducing Dr. Swati Sinha. She completed her BDS from Government Dental College and further pursued her MBA in Health and Hospital Administration. It is an honor to have such a personality here with us today. Hello, ma'am. We are inquisitive about the conversation we are going to have today with you.
Thank you, Bijal. Thank you so much. And let me present something for all of you, and then we can have a discussion also.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. So I'll share the screen.
Yes.
Okay, I welcome all of you at the BLACKBOARD team and the esteemed panelists here, Mr. Hemant, Mr. Shagun, Mr. Yuvraja. They spoke before me, and they gave deep insights. They gave me a lot of information. If you actually grasp this information, you are going to be a very good knowledge provider for the industry. So here, all of them, and now I will give you a bigger picture, since we track news of the pharma companies also, PharmaState. And the topic for today, I'm coming back to that, it is impact of COVID-19 on advancements in pharmaceutical sciences. I'll take a different look at the scenario here. Let me take you all through the global healthcare market segments. This is the global healthcare market that you can see. The first ranking is the healthcare industry, the healthcare sector exactly, which comprises of doctors, hospitals, and paramedical staff. Then comes the second rank is pharmaceutical drugs, where we stand today, the industry without which none of the sectors can perform. The third rank goes to medical equipment sector, then biologics, and then veterinary. And a little bit about the Indian healthcare market. The growth, I just wanted you all to look at the growth that is going to happen in the Indian healthcare market. In 2016, it was around 110 billion US dollars, but in 6 years, 2022, it is projected at more than thrice the value what it was in 2016. So, quality, accessibility of healthcare. What do you think India stands? Where it stands? Among the 195 countries, we are at 145th. So you must be thinking it is a dismal picture, but I would say this is an opportunity, a big opportunity, a big scope for enhancing the healthcare services, the pharmaceutical services that we can offer to the country and to the world. All of you know, pharmaceutical industry is the backbone of healthcare. Without this industry, doctors cannot prescribe drugs. Even the back industries of the pharmaceutical, the manufacturing and the R&D cannot perform. So you have to understand this industry very well in order to, become a good professional in future. I will give you a very different viewpoint also. You must have a very important story of God is that he was unaware of his potential, and an event happened and someone told him about the potential that he has. And this is the exact scenario that Indian pharma industry has to realize about its potential in the pharma industry today. The coronavirus incident, the COVID-19 pandemic is actually the opportunity to realize our potential here. We have to see that in pharmaceutical industry, India has a major place. We are basically the pharmacy to the world. We are the people who are actually exporting massively to the countries. Let us see the strengths and the weaknesses also. The strengths we have, we are the pharmacy of the world, and basically we have developed ourselves in the past years, but I'll take you through the weaknesses first, because this is where the opportunity lies. We lack trained and skilled professionals today. The skilled sector, is a big opportunity. If you are skilling professionals, you are creating value for the industry, for the world, for the pharmaceutical industry. So students who are listening to this conference should understand the importance of skilling and training. You should be skilled and trained before you perform. Then we have API dependency on China. Earlier speakers also spoke about this topic, and according to few reports, India actually imports almost 90% of APIs from China. So here lies an opportunity where we are, fighting against China also in on borders, and businesses are also shutting operations there, and China is shutting operations in India. So you have a little opportunity here. Open up API, segments, open up API businesses. Entrepreneurs should look at this opportunity, which is becoming big. Government is also supporting here, because government has actually, committed few projects in the form of pharma parks. Also, they have committed amount funding also, and they are very open to the pharma industry right now for booming the sector. Then you have increased regulatory audits. This cannot be overlooked, because FDA and other regulatory agencies regularly come to India for audits, because we supply to them. And since we supply to them, we have accountability of supplying quality medicines. And regulatory audits will never stop here, even if we develop more and more. So we have to be prepared. And the most important thing that this regulatory audit requires is a trained and skilled staff. Your team, your people are your strength. Even pharma companies are now realizing it, and they are working on the training and skilling part of this industry, especially R&D. And R&D expenditures are still lower than global. Globally, the average expenditure on R&D is around 18%. In India, it is 8%. Many big companies, Sun Pharma has invested a lot in R&D, and many other companies are also putting up money in R&D, but still we are very low, above the, if we want to go above this average, you must understand the criticality of the situation. You must understand this opportunity that is lying ahead of us. So this was about realizing the potential of Indian pharma industry, an industry which can catapult India to #1 position economically also. I'll share a slide here where the complete picture is there. Already speakers before me have spoken about how many medicines are being developed, how many vaccines are under trial. So a total snapshot I have to share with you. 163 total vaccines are under evaluation. This is the number currently. Clinical evaluation stage is around 23, and preclinical stage we have 140 drug candidates. You have the numbers here. A speaker before me also spoke about Glenmark receiving, approval for favipiravir, and the affordability problem also comes in, because DCGI released a notice to the company, and they asked about the pricing of the drug. So affordability has to come up, but yes, I'll share again a good news with you, because Brinton Pharma released it at 59 rupees, and I have a news here that Genberg Pharma, it is a company down south India, they have released the drug at 39 rupees per tablet. So it is a news which came yesterday, and I wanted to share with you that we are also working, the Indian pharma industry is also working on the affordability front. So this is about I will not deep dive into this, because earlier speakers are much more knowledgeable and they spoke about it in detail. I had a look at every, slide of the speakers, and they were very good at the deeper part of it. Although the COVID-19 times have been toughest for everyone, people have gone through depression phases also. I come across a lot of people who ask about what will happen, ma'am, even in pharma industry. Yes, pharma industry faced, it got a jolt when this thing stuck. Companies shut down operations. Employees were very fearful of joining back, and they were very, still they are very apprehensive about when we should go to work. But companies have come up, they supported their staff, And they actually build up confidence for the pharma employees, that please come work because we have an opportunity here. And the Indian pharma industry has a lot of potential, and in coming times, I believe the biggest of the companies would be Indian. The slide shows that we have the top research companies as Roche, J&J, Pfizer, and whatnot. But I want to see an Indian company. We all want to see an Indian company right there at the top 5. What can we do? What can we do? We can be positive, and we should be working to the best of our potentials. The people here, the speakers, even by Blackboard team, you people have done a wonderful work by arranging this e-conference. By communications, by networking, and by sharing our thoughts, we actually become positive about it. And we have a big potential. I am really telling you about the potential part, because it is an opportunity and we should not miss it. So this is from my side. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for listening patiently, and thank you, team members and Blackboard team.
Thank you, ma'am, for such an enthusiastic and informative session. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, dear.
Since we are coming to an end of this webinar, we open the floor for doubts. I request the participants to drop any questions that they have in the chat box. It will be addressed by our speakers. The first question that we have is, what is the coronavirus global response? Anybody who would like to take this question?
Yeah, can I answer it? This is Dr. Hemant here.
Yes, sir.
First of all, thank you for all the speakers for the beautiful presentation. So here, the first question comes here: what is the coronavirus global response? The day from the first disease, first infection being registered from China, so it was a big panic among the global people. Slowly, before it being declared as a pandemic, it started as an epidemic, and slowly it became a pandemic. So as a medical teams and as a pharmacological companies, we have got responded very well, even though it took a little bit late to respond globally for this pandemic. It might have been stopped as a pandemic when we have taken the earlier measures from China itself, that this disease might not have become now pandemic. So, but globally, the lot of lockdowns you've been observing from the many cities, the social distancing, the WHO norms being released, and a lot of guidelines being promoted throughout the world by WHO and also by the local governments. So this is the first response as a social responses is the first thing that came out because of the pandemic. The first thing is the social response. So after that, the second responses by the pharmaceutical industries, once the technical data, the clinical data and the clinical outcomes of the different characters, the genomic studies and genome mapping understanding of the virus, still there is a big confusion about this virus mechanism. That is very much surprising for the entire scientific community how this virus is behaving differently in different patients. Even myself, being the technical specialized technically in the coronavirus, I was shocked how this coronavirus at present working differently. So working differently, that's really surprising. So this also a very big surprise for all of us globally. So the many pharmaceutical industries have took a lot of measures and the drug development processes to adopt and to repurpose the drugs. So as in my presentation and also in the presentation of other speakers, there was a notification of repurposing drugs. So globally, all pharmaceutical industries and medical teams has proposed the use of the earlier antiviral drugs, anti-cancer drugs. A lot of supplementations as shown by Dr. Yuvraj. And a lot of things are happening nowadays. So globally, the situation, even though been handled, or I will say it been mishandled a lot by a lot of the misinterpretation of the data, because the scientific diversification of data has brought this confusion. So every scientist has come up with his own outcomes with the results, but the data not been integrated globally. So that is what the first time the scientific world has experienced. The data integration of a pandemic not happened during this novel coronavirus. So now the WHO and the big countries are coming together, and they are talking to different scientists. They're taking their opinions, and they are coming to the conclusion how the vaccination can be developed. And now they finally came, more than 150 companies. They designed the vaccine outcome, and the vaccine is under the all of the vaccine. Most of the vaccines are reached the phase 3 clinical trial. Luckily, they have shown the very good immune responses. So this is also a very good thing for each and every, good news for every one of us. So let's hope best for the vaccination and development. But I request all of you to follow the simple thing. Whenever there is a outbreak of a pandemic or epidemic in the local, state, or divisions, the epidemic should be addressed properly, where it can be stopped at the epidemic level only. We might have stopped it in December itself, but because of the data integration problem, improper sharing of information between the countries, this became a global pandemic. This is the big fault happened now. So now the globally it been understood, and even though the 6 months we lost a lot of lives and a lot of people being infected, but now it is time for all of us to share the data together. Whatever the discovery we made, share it online, share it on the different social channels, which we are doing today, and share your opinions, right or wrong. Share your opinions, understand it globally, so make it perfect. So such that definitely will come a very good outcome. And one more good news for everyone is that other than the vaccine, we have discovered many prophylactic drugs which can inhibit the virus, that is stop as a prophylactic. Prophylactic means we can stop the virus infection also. So prophylactic drugs is the first line of treatment, and second line is the repurposed drugs after infection. Number 3 is the antibody therapy. Number 4 is the vaccination therapy. So these are the 4 steps being adopted and proposed by us to the government of India, and we received my team has submitted this proposal to ICMR in the month of February, and we received the appreciation for that, and it is the same protocol being implemented in India now. So that is the one thing. So globally, the response throughout the world, scientific communities are integrated. They're working excellently by using the modern tools. We come out with a lot of drugs. Don't panic, don't fear. As in all the pandemics has a history of stopping by self within a year. It's already 6 months of 7 years. The virus strain is already getting slowly down. Even the infection rate is higher. The death rate is slowly coming down, which is indicating the infection, the pathogenicity of this virus is slowly getting down. It may infect like a general flu, like a rainy flu and the seasonal flu virus regularly, but it won't cause the major death cases among the world. So I request you all, don't get panic. The scientific community is with you all, and we all responding very good. And definitely the virus may stop by itself very soon, as the nature genomically the strain is becoming weaker pathogenically. But infective wise, it is infective still. But pathogenically, metabolically, the infectivity inside the metabolism is slowing down by the genomic studies. So don't get panic, and be bold and be strong and share the knowledges. Thank you.
I will add to this, Dr. Hemant. He just, explained it beautifully. I will add to this that in a coronavirus global response, you may see, international collaborations happening. The recent one being the Oxford University collaborating with AstraZeneca and coming along with, our own institutions. So this is the basically global response that was expected, and it has happened. So it has happened for good. This is one piece of information that I wanted to share.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Swati.
Second question that we have is, what is dexamethasone? Does it work against COVID-19?
Okay, so again, I would like to answer here. Dexamethasone was one of my research paper published in March. We have discovered that Damarin and ergosterone components are working excellently. This is the steroidal type of components. They are working excellently to inhibit the virus, particularly the RBD zone. RBD is the receptor binding domain of the coronavirus. So dexamethasone earlier it is being used as an anti-inflammatory drug for most of the cases in the respiratory cases, COPD cases. Okay, the chronic pulmonary disorder cases. Okay, so this is the drug already being used. But initially, before when the coronavirus outbreak happened, most of the scientists has feared because coronavirus usually bind to the angiotensin converting enzymes, which are the BP, blood pressure increasing enzymes. So they feared that by giving the steroids, it may empower the coronavirus and exaggerate the disease. So that's why initially the first 2 to 3 months, they doesn't administered any type of steroids to the patients from China to America. So slowly the doctors, some of the doctors has dared to give some steroids like fluticasone, dexamethasone components. They started to get the results. So why the fear came? Because the coronavirus bind to angiotensin converting enzyme. So steroids will enhance the ACE2 activity. Angiotensin converting enzyme activity will be increased by giving more steroids. Thus, then the coronavirus infection will increase automatically. More infection will be there. So that's why scientists feared. But slowly by giving dexamethasone at the very lower doses, remember here, dexamethasone being administered at the very lower doses than the given proposed doses. So that's why the results are good. The scientists, doctors, and worldwide, really it has the inhibition activity against the COVID-19, which been proved. So you can see our paper also published in March and February. So it is very clearly mentioned dexamethasone really works against COVID-19 by binding to the RBD, that is a receptor binding domain of the COVID-19.
Thank you, sir. The next question that we have is, it is not exactly a question. I'll just read it out. What I know about P53 and its relation to zinc, it is involved in cell cycle arrest to allow DNA repair and or apoptosis. Insufficient zinc and excess zinc both cause P53 to misfold by distinct mechanisms, resulting in functional loss.
Yeah, it is a very beautifully question raised by some of them. It can't be a question, it will be a query from them. It's like an explanation they need. Look, with the zinc bean supplementation has proven earlier. It's 2002 zinc supplementation given to the coronavirus infection. SARS-1. This is a SARS-2 happening in 2019. And SARS-1 happened in 2002 in China. Zinc supplementation has tremendously reduced the viral load and also the inflammation. Okay, so here zinc supplementation in the normal human beings usually work in the both process. One is the misfolding and also the unfolding of the P53 proteins. Okay, so people might be fear taking the more excessive zinc might cause the P53 misfolding, again cause the infections, again causes some metabolic syndromes, but not here. There is a checkpoint in the cell mechanism of any infected or normal patients. Zincs are ionophores. Ionophores are controlled by the metallochaperones. So these metallochaperone proteins has got the reversible activity. So whenever there is a over zinc supplementation, look, in vitro is different, and again when it acts in the whole human body, it is a different. In vitro, excessive zinc will cause again the misfolding. But in vivo, in the human body or in any animal body, there are metallochaperones which regulate the excessive zinc or excessive zinc, because the zinc is an ionophore which works reversibly. So it can be binded to the P53 protein, and also it can be removed from the P53 proteins by the metallochaperones. There is a regulation checkpoint there. So please don't get confusion. So this question been questioned by one of the scientists to me on LinkedIn post also. I answered him very well, because there are metallochaperone regulators which reversibly can control the over zinc toxicity and can eliminate it. So there is a regulation on the zinc, and zinc helps refolding of the P53, because the coronavirus increases P53 misfolding by controlling ISG15 gene. So once ISG15 gene is misregulated because of the coronavirus infection, P53 misfolding, there will be aggregation of the P53 misfolding proteins, which leads to severe inflammation and reduction in innate immunity, because P53 is our gatekeeper of innate immunity. Whether if P53 is very good condition, all our immune power is very good. If our gatekeeper is gone, misfolded, automatically our immune power has gone, innate immunity has gone, and the coronavirus infection rate enhances, lot of inflammation, which leads to the death among the patients. So where the P53 gene is weak in all the, you can see most of the death cases happening throughout the world because of the P53 gene mutations happen in most of the patients. And weak strains, you look, all the gene pools are not strong. Among us, there are the people who got the P53 weak genes, which is the gatekeeper of our entire innate immunity. So where the coronavirus, interestingly, hacks our immunity by stopping P53, by increasing the P53 misfolding. So this is how the novel coronavirus hacks our immunity, innate immunity, and kills our immunity. So by adding the zinc supplementation, we can reverse the P53 misfolding and enhance our innate immunity. And it is a very beautiful supplement, which is proven technically throughout the world in 2002 and also in 2019. Thank you.
Yeah, I can add a few information here. Actually, the zinc, the recommended daily allowance is the 40 milligram per day. Also, the maximum allowable dose, it's a 150 milligram, is the elemental zinc. Actually, normally when we are seeing the any marketed product, so zinc as zinc oxide, zinc as zinc sulfate monohydrate, zinc as zinc amino acid chelate. Actually, there more than, we can say that it's a 350 milligram or around 400 milligram is the combination of the salt form. But when you're calculating the elemental, it will be not more than 150 milligrams. So there is always the difference between the elemental zinc and with the salt form. So the up to maximum 150 milligram we can consume per day, but in general, the recommended daily allowance is 40 milligram per day.
Thank you, Dr. Yoras. It's a good explanation of the daily limited doses RDA value of zinc. It's really good.
We'll move to the next question. How plasma therapy is good for curing COVID-19?
Thank you for this question again. This is the, throughout India, there are a lot of plasma banks are coming up. What is a plasma therapy is a very old doctor's physician technique. It is a very old, more than 300 years old technique. We can say the starting of the physician, that is a medical history. The plasma therapy
Hello? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, see, Bijal, you are audible. I think Dr. Hemant connection has been lost.
Anybody who would like to take that?
Yeah. Let me answer this in a very simple and few sentences. Look, a person who gets infected with COVID-19, and if he recovers, his body has actually fought the infection. And fighting infection is what? Antibody reaction to the antigen. So antigens are there in the blood, the plasma. So this plasma is basically considered to be helpful for the patients who are actually fighting the infections. So the people who have recovered from this disease, COVID-19, they donate plasma because that plasma contains antibodies, and the people who are actually fighting or suffering from a severe form of this disease can take this plasma, and it will help in fighting the disease for the sufferer also. This is the simple explanation of how a plasma therapy is going to work for the diseased patient.
Perfect.
The next question that we have is how the regulatory agency CDSCO, FDA India, MOHFW is staying true to its color when dealing with approvals for favipiravir.
Okay, let me, not answer this question on behalf of CDSCO. They are a government agency. They know their work.
Yeah.
So first of all, we should not be, putting a question mark on the colors of CDSCO. First of all, but yes, they have a lot of work to do, and the agency has actually, done a lot of good work. They have timely approved drugs. They have control the way that companies are dealing with this situation also. And if you want to actually see the work they do, go to their website. They're daily releasing 1 or 2 notifications which are helping the pharma industry keep track of the situation, keep track of each other also. So they are actually, I think they are staying true to their colors and dealing with all the approvals of favipiravir. I earlier also mentioned, in my presentation also, that Glenmark actually received the first approval for this favipiravir drug. But DCGI came back and asked them few questions. They asked actually 2 questions. The first question was related to the pricing of the drug. And the second was its claim regarding use as monotherapy. And Glenmark did very well. They answered both the questions to DCGI, and they are through with the approval. So they are actively engaging with the companies. They have actually, approved many companies' drugs also. I shared about Genbuck Pharma, the drug. They have released the drug at rupees 39, affordable. So I think we shall be actually trusting the agency rather than questioning their role.
Thank you, ma'am.
Just to add to Dr. Swati, favipiravir, considering remdesivir, comparing to remdesivir, favipiravir is more easier, convenient way to take as it is orally taken.
Yeah, oral antiviral. Yeah.
Oral antiviral drug. So it is the most convenient way to, is more palatable to the patients for mild to moderate patients of COVID-19.
Yes, exactly.
Moving to the next question. If a patient is already infected with some other disease along with COVID-19, is there a high chance of his death?
Oh, yes. Comorbidities are increasing the chances because, the immune system of people who are having any already existing disease, comorbid conditions, these are called comorbid conditions. Like you have already had a COPD, a respiratory disease. You already have a compromised immune system due to any other disease. You already are diabetic. You are at the, old age category. You are in the old age category. So these people who are already facing some fight with the diseases, this COVID-19 will always have, a dual impact on the condition of the disease, rather condition of the patient. So yes, comorbidities are going to affect, and the more you also, if you check the death rates also, they are higher in the people who are having comorbidities. We people who do not have comorbidities, we don't even know that we are infected with COVID-19. Many of us have been infected, herd community is developing, but people who are being advised that stay alert are the people who are having those diseases also. So yes, it affects, and it affects a lot.
Yes.
Also, the people who are on ventilators, the pneumonia related cases would be more for them, because in ventilators there's a term called ventilator associated infections also. So that is a deeper understanding of the subject, but I would say yes, if the answer is yes.
I guess due to time constraints, we will not be able to take further questions. However, participants, your doubts would be answered via emails. So let's end the session.
Thank you. I will say thank you to Bijal, thank you to Nalinikanta, and thank you to Victor also for arranging this, e-conference for us. And thank you, my panelists. You people were amazing. And I got a really expert view from you people. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you all.
In our next webinar, we will be recruiting students in pharmaceutical sectors. Gratitude is not only the greatest of the virtues, but the parent of all the others. With this being said, I would like to end today's session. I, on behalf of Why Blackboard, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all the speakers for gracing your knowledge today, and our most valued participants for making this webinar a success. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gratitude.
Bye-bye.
Not only the
Thank you.
greatest of the virtues,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
all that.
Thank you.
With this being said,